Ultimate Strongman keeps going from strength to strength, and it is bigger and better than ever here in the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. 16 of the strongest men on the planet in teams of 2 for the Team World Championships, and still the team to beat are defending champions.
Oh, absolutely perfect. Barbarians are on their way. That is pure pain. Vytautas and Marius Lalas of Lithuania, fantastic winners of the Ultimate Strongman 2018 Team World Championship.
Well, guys, event 1 of this Team World Championship is the log medley. We've got 120 kilos of log, 140. This massive team log at 300 kilos. Then we'll move on to a really huge money-making log of 180 kilos. And then the final log has never been lifted yet in Ultimate Strongman, and you guys have been so close. Will somebody do it today? 200 kilos of log? We'll soon see.
Welcome to the Motorpoint Arena. Some say this is the most spectacular form of Ultimate Strongman on the planet, and who am I to disagree? This is the World Team Championships, and these are the defending world champions. Barbarians, Vytautas and Marius Lalas from Lithuania. And they are first up in the log press medley with the Celts, 𝐂𝐸₫, last year's UK Strongest Man, and Paul Benton, this year's UK Strongest Man. Benton on the left, 𝐂𝐸₫ on the right. 𝐂𝐸, of course, 4 times an Ireland Strongest Man as well. But these brothers, the Lalas brothers, they really are spectacularly good at this sort of thing. Great presses. Away they go. 120 kilos that first log. This is 140 kilos, so far, far more taxing. 𝐂𝐸 lifting is in 300 kilos to be lifted between 2. The problem here is a disparity in height, as you will see. A little bit more difficult for Benton and 𝐂𝐸. Big, big log now. 180 kilograms. Vytautas Lalas, a brilliant presser. Watch this, watch his technique. Oh, brilliant stuff. A clean lockout, and 𝐂𝐸 struggling a little bit at 180 kilos. This is a world challenging event, because if they clear this, 180 kilos, Paul Benton going for it. Nope, too much for Benton, not a great presser. This log is 200 kilos. Marius Lalas. Nope, too much. Can't say I blame him. That would have been a first for anybody, anywhere in the world. 200 kilos of lift. Absolutely magnificent head-to-head competition between the Celts and the Barbarians, opening up this Team World Championships for Ultimate Strongman. Team Saxons, Chris Morgan, the West Midlander from England, on the far left-hand side, and Andy Flynn on the right-hand side. Both of them turned in great performances in England's Strongest Man and the UK Strongest Man as well. 27 years of age, both of them. A little bit of a disparity in height. You may see that come into play with the double log. In this heat, they will be up against this team, the Pirates. Radakovsky and 𝐀𝐸n𝐨 making their first appearance as athletes together here in the Team World Championships. A completely unknown combination for us here. There's JF Caron on the left-hand side, 9 times Canada's Strongest Man, paired with Krzysztof Radakovsky of Poland. Both in their late 30s, plenty of experience as athletes. Terrific crowd here at the Motorpoint Arena, and they're loving this, even though it's an opening event. Oh, easy for both men. 𝐀𝐻𝐿 just showing his class here on the left-hand side. Magnificent, 2 in a row. 140 kilos cleaned. This is a 300-kilo log, remember. 𝐀𝐻𝐿, 𝐀𝐻𝐿 and 𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐿 closest to us. Easily locking out there, despite being about 6 inches difference in height. These two men, great presses, especially Chris Morgan with the beard there. Moving on to 180 kilos. Morgan should lock that one out. 𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐿 here, closest to us, taking his time. Oh, super clean, super clean. And Chris Morgan does the same. He'll be very happy with that because that is a world-class lift. Well, he's already waved his hand over the attempt at 200 kilos, maybe saving themselves for later on. 𝐀𝐻𝐿, 𝐀𝐻𝐿 closest to us. He's not quite sure whether to take the time and do this lift yet. Do they need to? Do they want to? What's the time? Big Z, the judge there, saying, yeah, you got time. And 𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐿 going for 200 kilograms. This will be a world first. Oh, it's huge, huge, and he knows it's beyond him. There's a good reason why nobody's done it. Great stuff by both teams. 9 times Canada's strongest man, 𝐀𝐻𝐿, paired with Krzysztof 𝐿𝐸𝐻𝐿 of Poland. Coming up, 4 more teams take on the log medley. Well, a packed house here at the Motorpoint Arena to watch Team Rebels, 𝐁𝐁𝐵 and Heinle, their first appearance in this World Championship for teams, take on these two men from the United States of America. Badge the Yankees, it's Nick Hadge and brother Zach, 4th in 2018 in the Team World Championships, and real crowd pleases these two. We see less of Zach over on these shores than we do Nick Hadge. Nick's the baby brother, left-hand side there, as you can see, 134 kilos, the heavier man, Zach Hadge, 28 years old. This is Team Rebels, Rhino Heinle of Estonia and Rob 𝐁𝐁𝐵 of the United States of America. It's pretty short for a strongman, 𝐁𝐁𝐵, 5'9". Nick Hadge taking the first lift, 120 kilos. Easy for Heinle, easy for Hadge. Zach, the older of the two brothers, moves on. Heinle staying on the log press. Now they move on to the double press. Here we go. Well, they made mincemeat of that, didn't they? And the Hadge brothers just getting it together. A little less coordinated than the other two, I have to say, but still a clean lift. Rob 𝐁𝐁𝐵 pushes hard to make 180 kilos look easy. Ooh, careful, careful. I think that's Nick, actually. We'll have a look when we get round the front of him. There's Nick Hadge. Rolls 180 kilos of steel log onto his chest. And no. Nick decides it's too much. First man to bow out at 180 kilos. Meanwhile, Rob 𝐁𝐁𝐵 takes this massive 200-kilo log on. This would be an ultimate strongman first. Oh, so close! Oh! Echoed from the MC in the background. Zach Hadge having a go at 180, and neither of them are going to go any further than that. They both know that. Rob 𝐁𝐁𝐵 calls it a day at 200 kilos, and I can't say I blame him. Fantastic effort. Look at this, look how close he was. He got the arms almost locked out, he just couldn't straighten that back and stand up. So near.
It's a great way to start the competition. no matter what comp it is, it's always nice to start as well as that, I'm assuming, Rob.
Yeah, I think coming into this event, we're both good log pressers, and we kind of had a tactic for Rauno to, do the first two as fast as possible, get through the third one, and with 180 being decently light for me to hit, we knew that me taking the last two heavy logs would be better for our time, and it worked out in our favor.
That 200 looked like was on.
It was close. Thinking back, I definitely pressed out a little bit too far in front of me instead of over my head. It's just, with 200 overhead, it's small things like that are what screw you over. But still, we're happy to win the first event.
And Rauno, as a partnership, were you always looking at that event as being a strong one, a good one?
Yeah, because we know anyway, we need to do 180 very fast. We didn't need to do 200 because we already knew 200 is too much today. But it was very close.
Highly, highly technical thinking. You have to think technically in strongman. Nobody thinks about it. They think it's just brute strength, but it isn't. This is the Dragons, an all-Welsh team. Mark Jeans on the left-hand side, the current Wales' strongest man, and the man he beat into second place on the right-hand side. It's Gavin Bilton, serving Welsh guardsman, wearing his cap. And why? Because they're up against this man on the right-hand side. It's 𝐒𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐯𝐞, the Russian, a former Marine commando. And he is paired with 𝐀𝐛𝐨𝐮𝐭 of Slovenia. There we are, Gavin Bilton and Mark Jeans, the Dragons. This should be an interesting showdown, Jeans and Bilton, very, very strong men, but 𝐒𝐤𝐞𝐫𝐯𝐞, let's see if he gets a nosebleed. He does. He's had nosebleeds in the past when he's been pressing logs just for the sheer brute strength he uses. 𝐁𝐸𝐴𝐶, closest to us. Oh, super pressing. Mark Jeans clears 140 kilograms, they're now up to the 300 kilo team log. And the disparity in size between 𝐒𝐤𝐶𝐫𝐶 and 𝐁𝐸𝐴𝐶 doesn't seem to make much difference there. Jeans and Bilton, again, they are a little bit disparate, but good pressing. 𝐒𝐤𝐶𝐫𝐶 rolls the log up onto his shoulders, 180 kilos, reaching for the sky in a clean, clean lift. Big Gavin Bilton. It's the battle of the caps at 180 kilos. Oh, not quite. Not quite for Gavin Bilton. Shall I have a go, says Mark Jeans. Well, you can do it again. 200 kilos. 𝐁𝐸𝐴𝐶 looks at it and thinks, I think this is way too much. It's not going to happen. Haven't got enough time, says 𝐒𝐤𝐶𝐫𝐶. I'll give it a go. Well, this is great stuff. Gavin Bilton still on the 180 log. Shakes his head, that's enough for him. Up onto the shoulders. 𝐒𝐤𝐶𝐫𝐶 agreeing with his teammate. Too much today, 200 kilos. Even so, both teams pretty quick to 180 to the log, but only one of them cleaning it. Great stuff. It's the Rebels, 𝐀𝐛𝐨𝐿, who take the points for event number 1. 4 logs in 30.61 seconds gives them 8 points ahead of the Beasts and the Barbarians.
Okay, guys, event 2 is the deadlift, the staple of all strongman events, but there's a difference. This is a 2-man deadlift. Guys will have to work together. Somebody will have to captain the call. You will lock out at the top as many reps as possible. This is over 600 kilos of weight. It's massive. How many reps is going to win it? Well, we'll soon find out.
In the opening battle of the deadlift, the Dragons faced the Yankees. The Hadj brothers deadlifted an amazing 9 times. Meanwhile, the Dragons struggled. They only managed a single lift of this incredible 600 kilo bar weight due to a hamstring injury that Gavin Bilton picked up in their second repetition attempt. Then it was on to the Celts versus the Saxons. The Celts found it tough going, lifting 3 times, while the Saxons got 7 reps on the board. So that means the Yankees are still the team to beat with 9 reps, We join it now with the Pirates versus the Barbarians. Christophe Radzikowski and Jean-François Caron. Between them, massive amounts of experience, but so have these two men, Vytautas and Marius Lalas. Team Barbarians and the reigning Team World Champions. Just look at the amount of weight on that bar. 600 kilos, and it's all about repetitions. You have to know your teammate in this. Somebody has to take charge and call it, but you have to be sort of physically reasonably similar, have a similar way of lifting. The height from the base of foot to the hips is really important here, and it helps being brothers. They're pretty much the same size, and you can see they're a little bit out of sync, are the Pirates. Mind you, they're racking up the reps, look at that. They're eating into the lead of the Barbarians in this particular heat. They started off great guns to the Barbarians. They're now on 8th. They have to try and get past 9 of the Yankees. Radzikowski taking a look over at the Barbarians, saying something to JF Caron. Oh, that's interesting. Well, I don't think that's allowed. I think once you detach from the bar, that is it, which would mean that the Pirates have a chance to go ahead of the Barbarians. Barbarians will be stuck on 8. I think they've accepted that. 9 for the Pirates. They need one more. Look at the effort on Christophe Radzikowski's face. He's calling the shots here, I think. And away they go. Oh, 600 kilos. Can they do one more? Knock out one more time. They can. That's brilliant, brilliant deadlifting. That is fantastic. That is the weight of 6 slightly portly men. The Lalas brothers, I think they were rather resigned to that.
Marius Vytautas has gone off, either really not happy or feeling injured. What's happened?
Yeah, he told me that he kind of heard a pop in his grinder, so that's not a really good sign. I hope it's nothing major. So.
JF, you said he almost died.
No, he died.
Yeah, do you think it was worth it?
It's not easy. It's not easy because you must do together one comment at the same time. He's very heavy and it's a lot of cardio. For 10 reps, you're shaking, but you won't do this.
But for this event, JF, that was well worth it because you're probably going to win it now with 10 reps. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a good result. We'll see, but I have a lot of good deadlifters coming.
Well, our final pair of teams coming out. These are the beasts, Belsak and Shivlikov. Huge crowd, please. Shivlikov, the former Russian Marine commando. And the Rebels winner of the last round, Kearney and Heinle, leading with 8 points on the scoreboard. It's been a fantastic discipline so far. This is Rob Kearney closest to us. And away they go. 10 is the repetitions to beat. There's something going on the right-hand side there. Belshak's shaking his leg a little bit. And he's detached from the bar already, and that means they won't be making a lift at all. That has to be injury. He's checking something. It absolutely has to be injury. Meanwhile, the Rebels are storming on. 5 repetitions already. Clutching a little bit at the side of that knee, maybe a hamstring. Let's not detract from the efforts going in by Kearney and Heinle, though. Oh, Rob Kearney struggling a little bit to make that repetition number 7. They've got to keep up close to the top of the board. They've got to get above 8, I would think, because they're leading at the moment. They'll want to keep that position of advantage. Oh, come on, Rob, pulls up for 8. Will they make 9? That would be safe. Preferable to match 10. Oh, huge effort from Rob Kearney. Makes 9. And I think they'll call it a day at that. I would. Mind you, I call it a day walking out the door. Good performance by our current leaders. And Rob Kearney had to dig very, very deep indeed there. Pirates win with 10 repetitions and get the 8 points. The Rebels, second place, 9 repetitions, tied with the Yankees. That's good for them. They were at the top of the leaderboard and gained 6.5 points. That extends their lead then to 14.5 points ahead of the Pirates, 𝐂𝐸𝐸 and J.F. Caron on 13. The Barbarians now in third spot. Coming up, it's the excruciating Farmer's Walk and the absolutely classic tire flip.
Okay guys, discipline 3, the Farmer's Walk. This is a real grip test. Who has the strongest grip on the planet? You'll pick these farmers up, 300 kilos in total, 150 kilos in each hand, and you'll carry them for distance. 20 meters up, you'll make the turn. You must go beyond the line, turn, come back, carry them as far as possible. If you can turn again, do so. When you drop them, your team partner must go in, retrieve them, and carry them as far as he can also. The longest distance per team wins this discipline. Who's gonna win? We'll soon see.
The Farmer's Walk, an absolute classic staple of strongman competition. It's had many varied forms, but the principle is always the same. Lift up two whacking great weights, hang on to them as long as possible, and go as far as you can. Team Celts, O'Dwyer and Benton, currently 7th overall. And this is the Saxons, Chris Morgan and Andy Flynn, 5th place overall, got 8 points. Not a bad debut for those two as a pairing, and away they go. They've got a lift and carry. Oh, that's a disaster for Chris Morgan. He's dropped them already. He's only got a metre over the line. And that means his teammate Andy Flynn's got to go in. Gavin Bilton do really, really well here. He's shown how good he is at the Farmer's Walk. Paul Benton puts his down. Now Power O'Dwyer's got to take over. Bilton gets to the end. He's still hanging on. Puts down smack on the line for current Wales' strongest man, Mark Jeans, to take over the reins, and away he goes. Just psyching himself up. Everybody's got now to 20 metres. Oh, that's it for Andy Flynn. Just a shade over 20 metres then for the Saxons. And on the far side, Balshak has put the weights down. They've still got 𝐂𝐸𝐸 to go, though. They got off to a pretty slow start. This is great by Mark Jeans, though. Look at this. Slow and steady, but you've got to have massive grip strength for this. He's going back again. That is a terrific performance by the two Welshmen. 𝐒𝐸𝐸 motoring down to the far right-hand side there. Turning around, is he going to beat the Dragons' mark? He is, he's away, he's gone past it. Oh, fantastic stuff by the Russian. That's approaching 60 metres. What a huge distance. Surely he's not going to go back again. Just over 60 metres. 61 metres maybe. That is an amazing performance by the Russian. Fantastic. 300 kilograms of weight suspended between those two arms. Barbarians, the two Lalas brothers. Well, if there was an injury to Vitutus, we're going to have to wait and see how it affects this particular event. Currently 4th overall, the Hadj brothers, the Yankees. And our current leaders, 14.5 points for Rob Kearney and Rhino Heinle, Team Rebels. And in this lane closest to us, the Pirates, Krzysztof Radzikowski and Jean-François Caron. It's Radzikowski who's going to go first. Now, you can be as strong as you like, but not everybody has got grip strength. Heinle taking it easy, not going too quickly. Oh no! Heinle has put the weights down straight away, and that means Rob Kearney has to take up the cudgel. Good going by the Lalas brothers on the far right-hand side, and the Hadj brothers closest to us. This is the battle of the brothers. 150 kilos in each arm, and the Hadj brothers moving forward. Zach encouraging Nick. Swap over time there, and Zach takes it. Oh! Rob Kearney, I think he's tripped. And he's dropped both weights, and that is the end of the event for the Rebels. That's a disaster. They were at the top of the table. They won't be after this as JF Caron powers his way towards the line. Radzikowski encouraging him. The Lalas brothers make 40 metres and turn and decide that discretion, the better part of valor here. Oh, look at Zach Hadj. Oh, right at the end of his rope. Surely he can't go any further. No, horizontal for Zach Hadj. They are happy with that, though. And 2 sets of brothers making 2 sets of 40 metres. Brilliant stuff. Such a grueling event and an absolute classic.
Potatoes, I know you're hurting.
Yeah.
How bad is it?
I don't know. Like, deadlift was really light for us. On 8th rep, something cracked, torn in my left groin, and we had to stop. So now I'm in a bit of pain, but, you know, strongmen are strongmen. We're warriors, you know. We're gonna go through it.
And you've got a good man alongside you. Is there a little bit more pressure on you now? How does it work?
It's a team competition, it's a team event. Both of us has to be in top shape to win. So now I'll do my best. We'll try to go through the pain and we'll see what's going on.
What a great performance despite injury for the Lalas brothers. 3rd place with 6 points behind the Dragons on 7. 8 points for the Beasts, Spelshak and Shivlikov. But disaster for the Rebels, only 1 point. And this is what happens on the board. Barbarians and Pirates share the lead. The Rebels slip to 3rd place, but they're still within striking distance. Don't count them out.
Guys, it's getting close now. We're coming to the end. It's discipline 4, the tar flip and the sack load. 400 kilos of tar must be flipped over a 20-meter course. You must run back, grab this 100-kilo sack and throw it in the center of tar. Once it's in the center, stopwatch will take. Who will be the fastest team? Well, we'll soon see.
Well, you've got to hand it to Glenn Ross, haven't you? He really puts them through it every time. This is the Rebels, Rob Kearney and Rhino Heinle. 3rd now on 15.5 points. This discipline, they'll be up against the Celts, Pat O'Dwyer and Paul Benton. 2018 UK Strongest Man, Pat O'Dwyer. Newly crowned 2019 champion, Paul Benton. This is the Saxons, 2 more men who appeared in UK Strongest Man. Chris Morgan from the West Midlands of England and Andy Flynn. Flynn, the taller of the men. Chris Morgan looking like some crazed prophet when he flips these tyres over. And this is the Pirates, Christophe Radzikowski and Jean-Francois Caron, the Canadian. They are joint leaders on 17 points. I love these 4-lane challenges, fantastic. 400 kilos these tyres weigh. You've got to get underneath them and drive. Get them to the tipping point and push. Some people use the knees, some people don't. Pat O'Dwyer has always been good at this and he's going well at the moment. O'Dwyer being encouraged by Benton. Slightly ahead, but it's nip and tuck, isn't it, really? Jean-Francois Caron struggling a little bit. Nearest to us, Andy Flynn doing very, very well. There's another technique as well, is if you can push it in a certain way, it slides. And that gets you some extra ground. Back goes Benton and O'Dwyer. Benton picks up the sack. It's really difficult to run with 100 kilos of floppy sack. And into the middle of the tire it goes. Clock stops. Radzikowski crashes into it, neck and neck with Chris Morgan. Benton super happy with that performance from the Celts. real crowd pleaser. Let's just watch the technique here of Pa O'Dwyer. Uses the knee, just lets it fall. No effort wasted whatsoever. The Yankees, Nick and Zach Hadj, 5th overall so far, 13.5 points. They love this event. Hadj absolutely loves, Nick anyway, loves the tire flip. And the Barbarians, how much is that niggling injury to Virtutus playing on their minds? Here's the Dragons. Had a great last round. Mark Jeans and Gavin Bilton, 7th overall though, 10 points. They've got nothing to lose. Really, really go for it now, boys. And this is the Beasts, lying 4th overall currently. Balshak and Shilifikov, 15 points. They're real entertainers, these two. This is a real crowd pleaser of an event. These tyres coming from huge quarrying dumper trucks. You know, if you wanted to buy one of these tyres, you'd have to shell out the equivalent of buying a new Mini. Would you believe that? 400 kilos. Fantastic stuff by Shivlikov. He's going super fast. On the right-hand side of your screen there, he's got that action going where the tyre slides a little bit. And everybody else struggling. Virtutus Lalas, the best of the rest there in the second lane, the black lane. And Shivlikov almost at the line already. Whack, over they go. He can rest. Balshak has to go back, grab this unwieldy sack, 100 kilos, sprint up the line, and hurl it along with himself into the tyre. Well, you can see why the crowd love it. No, let's not knock it. It's pure entertainment and pure athletic class. Marius Lalas, light on his feet, up to the tyre, hurls it in. They are second in this heat. Jeans and Bilton go back. Gavin Bilton, the big Welsh guard, 6'7". Makes light work of that, and he'll hurl that into the centre of the tyre. Clock stops for them. Still struggling on the far right-hand side. It's the Hadj brothers. This is a disaster for them. I'm very, very surprised, and so is Nick Hadj by the look of it. They haven't even got to the line, and they're going to run out of time. Come on, Zach. Come on. Get your knee underneath it. Good lad. Push, push. Mark Jeans goes over to encourage him. That's it. Almost at the line. They need one more lift. I think they do. He's not at that line. Frustration on Nick Hadj's face. Come on, Zach. The crowd really getting behind him. This will feel like 4,000 kilos now for Zach Hadj. Consoling hand from his brother. But this is the star of the tyre flip. The Russian Shivlikov and the flying Balshak. Whee! Well, actually, he was lucky not to do himself some damage there. The Beasts take the victory, 8 points in 44.50 seconds, followed by the Celts and the Rebels, 8, 7 and 6 points respectively. And this is what it does to the overall leaderboard. The Beasts now 1.5 points clear at the top. Balshak and Shivlikov ahead of the Pirates, Radzikovsky and JF Caron, and the Rebels stay in there, Kearney and Heinle. Coming up, it's the final event, the Stone Runner.
Well, guys, we're now on the final discipline of this Team World Championship. Who's going to win this one? This could come down to the wire. It is the Stone Runner. 160 kilo stone must be lifted over this beam. It starts at 4 foot, it moves up into sections, finishing on 5'3". It's going to be a massive stone, a massive height, but it could be for the title. Who's going to win this title? Who's going to win this discipline? Well, we'll soon see.
Well, a brand new event in Ultimate Strongman Team World Championship, the Stone Runner. This is Team Dragons, Mark 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸 and Gavin Bilton. 8th overall. I think they've had a great time. Hampered by injury a little bit. I think Mark's carrying a little bit of a niggle. Gavin definitely pulling a hamstring. Nick and Zach Hadge, the Yankees, 7th overall, 14.5 points. Zach struggling with the tyre flip. Nick Hadge just carrying a bit of an injury, a bicep injury, and that's going to play out in this event as well. The Celts, Tara Dwyer, Paul Benton, 6th overall, 15 points. And the final of the teams in this particular heat, the Saxons, Chris Morgan and Andy Flynn, 15.5 points, 5th overall. I think they should be pretty happy with that, to be honest. That's a good position for a first-time pairing going into the Team World Championship final event. So 4 foot tall where they're starting off. 15 inches higher at the other end. 5'3". Tara Dwyer taking the first stone for the Celts, rolling it back up. Tara Dwyer's going to do 2. Doesn't matter which order you do it in, but you've got to flip the 160 kilo stone over this telegraph pole to your teammate. It's got to be rolled along to the next section. And then it's between the two of you how you decide who's going to take it. You can see Tara Dwyer's now handed over to Paul Benton. He's the taller of the men. Well, Benton not enjoying that 160 kilos. Meanwhile, on to section number 3. Nearest to us go Flynn and Morgan. And to the far side, you can see that 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 and Bilton are going well as well. Well, Tara Dwyer's now done 3 sections out of the 5. Now Benton goes up to address the stone. Grabs it, get those arms around it. Mark 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 over section number 3. Morgan and Flynn going well. And Benton struggling, really struggling in the green and black shorts there. Flips it back over to Tara Dwyer. Oh, he's cross. He is cross. Mark 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, one of the best stone lifters in the business, goes over at section number 4, as does Andy Flynn. He thinks he's got it, but I don't think he has. Mark 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 was much quicker over that 4th section. Still, you could be as happy as you like. It's a big, big task. That's great, great lifting by Mark 𝐂𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 and Gavin Bilton.
A great effort. It's been a tough day for both of you, I know, especially you, Gavin, with that injury. But Mark, you must be happy with the way you finished things off there.
Oh, definitely. We had a game plan coming into this whole show, and unfortunately injuries happen. And fair play to Gav, he didn't give up. He gave it everything. Managed to pull it back a few points on the 3rd event in. So I knew I was going to hold my own against the Stones. I wanted to get the last one, but I looked over. It was enough for the win in this group. So fingers crossed, it's enough to get the win overall.
So, this is an odd-looking event for those that know Strongman even. What was it like to actually do?
It's just something new and different, which is good, because sometimes when it's the same event, it almost gets it's a bit monotonous, as it is, but this has never been done before. And there's nobody better than, I don't think, in Wales in lifting stones. Not many better than Mark. So I knew coming into this last event, unfortunately with carrying injuries, Mark had to do it. It's phenomenal. So couldn't have a better captain. Helped me get through it after the 2 events. Head goes down, picked up injuries, but picked me back up and we finished strong.
Final 4 teams in this final event here in the Team World Championships, brought to you by Ultimate Strongman. The Barbarians, Vytautas and Marius Lalas, defending their title, going right down to the wire. The Pirates, Krzysztof Radzakowski and Jean-François Caron, joint 2nd overall. This is Team Rebels, who share that 2nd place with them. Rob Kearney and Rhino Heinle, 21.5 points. This team, though, goes into this final event at the top of the leaderboard. Maciej Spalczak and Michał Szewlikow, the Beasts, leading on 23 points. This, of course, is a brand new event in Ultimate Strongman team finals. I doubt if many of these strongmen have done anything like this before. Quickly off the mark goes Rainer Heinle. And all three lanes furthest from the camera, so that's lanes 1, 2 and 3 going well. Szewlikow and Balsak, slow start for them. You can see them on the left-hand side. Marius Lalas rolls the ball towards section number 3, but 𝐀𝐿 doing a great job. They're already on section number 4. The Pirates and the Rebels look like the two teams fastest here over section number 4. Surely Karon's not going to do all of them. Rob Kearney dumps the 160-kilo stone back over. This is 𝐀𝐿. He's going for the final section of this. Is he going to make it? He is! The Pirates are the first team to get over all 5 sections. And look at Szewlikow, they're only on number 2. That's a disaster. That has lost them the title. That's for sure. Rebels still struggling with this last section. Rob Kearney's only got a few seconds to do it in. The Lalas brothers still on section number 4, and goodness only knows where Szewlikow and Balsak are now. The time runs out. Look at this incredible lifting by 𝐀𝐿. That is 160 kilograms over 5'3". They are the winners of the discipline. They are the winners of the Team World Championships. And the resignation on the face of Rob Kearney. And just look at that, 7th place for the Beasts, snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory. It's the Pirates that take the 8 points ahead of Rebels and Dragons. And so to the final standings. It is indeed the Pirates, Krzysztof Radzakowski and 𝐀𝐿, who take the win. 1 point ahead of Rebels, Kearney and Heinle, the Beasts in 3rd. What a spectacular competition here at the Motorpoint Arena. Krzysztof Radzakowski on the left, Jean-François Caron on the right. They are the new Team World Champions and hold aloft the Southern Grove Trophy as Ultimate Strongman Team World Champions. We've had a fantastic time here in Nottingham. It's been a brilliant competition.